quite well for the transition of the color, but it didn't work at all for the game because you have a circular pattern here, and you had the straight lines here. So I decided, well, so I can hide this part, and this is what I did. So, so I thought to this demo to be like 3 parts, which is an introduction of how this can be useful for you or for turning, how this can complement turning or help, you know. And the second is going to be to try to explain you the traditional techniques of, because this is not new, this is several hundred years old at least. And the third part is going to be how do I think that, because the traditional, let's say, technique that is used was not used on wood in many cases, was used on clay. And you've seen the frames in the museums, they are all made of you know, they're all gilded, but they're not trying. They're trying to hide. I mean, they want to, let's say, steal the show from the clay or whatever, you know. And this is not. I don't think this is the case for us. We have very nice woods. We don't want to hide the wood. We don't want to steal the show from the wood. With something that complements or adds some value. So I have brought some examples of where I think this can be useful. So this is one of them. And also, if for any reason you get lazy with the button or whatever, then you can also use it. Another use that I have thought of is something that annoys me really bad is I don't have much time turning. So when I'm turning a live ball edge and the bark, let's say, flies away, it's really annoying for me because I had to pick up the bar in the workshop. Sometimes it's not easy. Then I have to glue it. Then I have to wait for the piece to dry, and then maybe the next day continue. And the problem is that probably another piece of bark is going to fly away. So it's really very annoying. So in the end, I end up, let's say, taking too long time for a piece, you know. So another possibility is to use this for when you have lost the bark, you know. This is something that my wife uses. She has this in her nightstand, and she puts here the earrings or whatever that she's gonna wear the next day. It's really, I don't think it's a great thing, but it can help to, let's say, give. If you don't have this, that really doesn't look good, you know, because it's clearly you've lost some bark, you know. Another thing of interest could be what I don't know why, but most people when they grab a piece, they flip it upside down. And at the end, what they find is the same wood that they have here. You know, maybe the end grain instead of. So it can be a nice thing that they find a little surprise that they don't expect. You know, and the same for the inside of the lid. You know, so this is this kind of subtle. Let's say addictions that I think that make sense for the wood turning. So this is another example of a piece that I already brought. So if you see it from this side, what you see is this is nice spalting. Okay, you don't see any gilding, but if you flip it, you see some gilding. Okay, you see something. So there is an additional interest on the other side of the piece. This was kind of a dollar side. And as I'm going to explain something that I don't really like much when you have a full layer of gild. I like when you have like reflections or see-through. And this is one of the differences of traditional gilding, that you really want a layer of gild to totally cover the frame or whatever. So I had to come up with my own techniques to minimize the amount of metal that you leave on the piece. I can show you this. I'm gonna leave this here because this is part of the demo. But I can hand you over these pieces here. Well, before I do this, I want to show you something. Yeah, we were talking about leaving a full layer of gilding. This is variegated gilding, And in this case, I have combined the color inlay with like a layer of full layer of partial layer of gilding. This is variegated. I'm not saying that this is a great piece. I'm just saying that at the end, these are all like experiments, or learning about this, seeing what I like, what I don't like. So I'm gonna hand you over so that you take a look at these pieces, and then I will start with. Before I forget, so I was in Spain this summer, and in Spain for centuries, while other countries, the sculptures were going more for bronze, for example, in France, or stone in Italy, in other countries. There is a very long tradition of people like doing statues of wood, and they use a lot of gilding for the churches mainly. Okay, so this is not a statue. This is actually a frame. A picture, and you see a lot of gilding here. And I brought these pictures to show you something. In traditional gilding, the base layer is of this color, always. Okay? So when, in this case, after several centuries, the layer of gold or whatever, fades away, you have this very nice mixture of gold that obviously this is not several centuries. So this is what I'm trying to reproduce. But this is. I mean, the pictures that doesn't make justice to what really the art piece is. It's really amazing. You can see here the red, the combination of the red and the gold. It's really nice.
What is the base metal that you use?
I have three different. They're different varieties. I have copper, gold, and something that they call variegated. That is has like different colors. I'm gonna pass them around here.
You said that they always use the same base in the frame.
Yeah, the traditional gilding they always use the same base. Okay, but as I said before, I'm not gonna use. I cannot imagine to put this red color on these NIP pieces over there. It has to make some sense. If you're turning pine and you wanna like upsell it or maybe, but I don't see it. So this is the color.
Is that red paint use latex or oil base, or is it special paint?
I have seen videos where people were using different colors, so I don't think that it has to be this one. I'm explaining about the traditional technique. I've seen people use yellow color and for example letters and stuff like this. So, but I really haven't delved much into it. So what I did was really simple. I purchased a kit, and we have everything that you need. And this is basically all you need. All you need that you don't have is here. Okay. And what you need is naturally, there are some things that I really don't use. Well, here and here. So this is the base, that is also the sealant. This is red primer.
Is that oil or water base?
Not sure. Let me see. We have the directions here. I'll find out because
Okay.
I don't see
What do you use to clean the brush?
mineral spirit.
Okay, that's oil.
Okay. The second thing that you need, and this is the most important thing, is the glue, the adhesive. Okay. And the third thing that you need is, but I don't really use it. If you want to do something very, I mean, I use it, but I will explain you why I don't use it. Is the top coat. Okay, the gold leaf coat, top coat, is to protect the metal. Okay. The other things that you need are this brush, and this is what you will use to carry the leaf to the piece. And this is very important because this is what you're going to use to remove the excess of metal, okay? So you will glue an area, and this is will use to make sure that it glues where it's glue, and you remove the metal when there is no metal. So as you can see, it's not really very complicated. This is
Just a
what you
regular
need.
rag?
This came with a kit, but I really don't think that. I mean, I think I can use that. Probably an entry should be enough.
Cut up your old drawers.
And what else do you need? Obviously, you need the leaves, okay? And I have three, I think, or four different. Each layer, each leaf is really, really thin, okay? You can see it's very delicate. Okay? So this is the gold one. They're like authentic gold. They're like some kind of fake gold, and there is even edible gold because the high-end cooks now they're using this. So this is the variegated, and this is the copper. So I have an extra copper. I'm gonna keep one of the extra copper so that I can start doing something, and I'm gonna pass this.
What was the third one? I'm sorry. I'm asking you just so I can put it.
Variegated.
Variegated?
Variegated. It's what was on that one piece of
Yeah.
the different color.
This is the variegated. Yeah, this one that is also here. Okay.
So you brush the glue on the area that you want to gild,
Yeah.
not on any other area.
Yeah.
It only sticks to that glue.
Yeah, only sticks to that glue. And so this is, I have worked on this thing that I'm gonna pass along to. So you have, I'm not doing the painting here because you don't need to be shown this, and because of the drying time, okay? So what I have done is I have used the three different types of leaf that I have, and I have used the top coat here, and here I haven't used the top coat. So here is the base, here is when I have glued the metal, and here is where I have glued the metal with the top coat. And I have done all the process here, but trying to remove metal so that it gives the and on the other side you have the same thing, but in this case I have used I've used as base tank oil, and I have done the same. I have done like a full layer with no scratching, no rubbing, and here I try to remove. So this is an example of where I would not use this. I think this is oak, if I'm not wrong, and as you can see, it has some grain. So the metal, the reflections are competing with the grain. So I don't see that there is any synergy here. I just process that you have an example. So this is the base, here is the metal with no top coat, and here are the three, once again with the top coat for you to see. Okay?
So you only just use the top coat, you never put anything else like
Yeah, I use.
clear spray or?
Yeah, that was my next point. So what I have trying to do is, because I don't want to have here a coat and here now a different finish. So another thing that I have been doing is trying to use a top coat what I'm using normally, that is tank oil in many cases. For the demo, actually, I have tried a different coats. So this is what you find in the box. So in the box you find four pieces, four parts, and you see this in each part you find a paper, and you have the base, and the next step, that is the gold and the top coat. When I say top coat, it means this one, okay? And I have here, for example, that I have used tank oil. So you can see how the different finish operate over the metal, okay? So you have here also tank oil with and spray lacquer. I have used this for spray lacquer. So you have an idea of how to finish with the different oils. I have brought this piece and I'm going to do the demo here. Actually, have been preparing 2 demos because I want to show you a couple of things that make different in the technique of a good result or a bad result. Okay, so I have any brush here. I'm going to use the gold leaf. I'm going to use the copper leaf, and the gold leaf I will use for the other one. Okay, so there is tangle here. I haven't used as a sealant the red one. And here, this is very easy. Okay, so you apply the surface that you want to cover with the metal. And now here comes the important part here to take into account. So in our case, it's not that important for other purposes for the artists in the past, but in our case, what we really want is a smooth surface. We work a lot that we have a smooth surface. So if you leave here a thick layer, you have like a little bumps, then you will have to add multiple layers of tangle or whatever you want a smooth surface. Okay, it will not work. You have to sand, and when you sand, you will remove the metal bit. So the first thing that we have to take into account, I'm doing this very roughly so that you can appreciate that. Okay, and I'm actually going to use the I'm not doing very carefully, because it is important for you to see the flaws that might happen. Okay, so at the beginning, if I didn't see like the white or something like this, I was thinking that I was not really adding enough glue, and then I realized that really you hardly need glue, so very little goes a long way. Okay. So now, the second thing that you need to take into account, when it's wet, you have to wait. Okay, so if you try to do this, you will ruin the process. So you have to wait a few minutes. You have to wait until the glue is tacky. So it depends probably on many things, temperature or whatever, humidity, but you have to wait until this is tacky. So every now and then you touch it a little bit, and if you notice that it's wet, if you don't notice that the finger sticks a little bit, then it's not ready. So these are the 2 things that you have to, these are the most important thing that you need to take into account. Very little, it will work well. If you add too much, you will not have a smooth surface. And the second thing is you have to wait until this is tacky. I'm seeing that there is too much glue here, but I don't care.
Do they use spray glue too or not?
The spray glue? No, I think you have to use this one. I have never seen anyone use anything with this one. The other thing that I'm gonna say while this gets tacky, it was gonna take a while, is that the surface that I have glued, I think if I have done it correctly, it should be bigger than the leaf. There are parts here. There is a line. There is a frontier where there is glue and there is no glue. So once you have glued this, with this you will all the parts that have no glue, it will be very easy for you to remove the metal. Okay, they will not stay. It will not stay there. So it allows you to delimit very clearly where you want to have the the metal or not, you can see here. I have been able to clearly outline the blue gilding. Okay, and also it allows you to use stencils, for example, or anything that you consider. So, for example, for this piece, you don't need expensive stencils. You can use whatever you find out. So, for example, this is what I use for this piece, okay, for this part here. These are plastics nets that come from the garlic that we have at home. So I saw this and I thought, well, maybe this can help me to reduce the amount of metal. And even using this, I had too much, so I have to work on removing it a bit with this cloth. Okay, it depends on the result. But if you see like do you see like a grid here? This comes from the use of one of these. So I recommend that if you don't want a grid, because I didn't want a grid, instead of using let's say them on the same directions, you cross directions here. So you try to find the most random pattern, okay? If that's what you want, okay? So let me see whether this is tacky. So when you notice that it's not wet, and you notice that the finger kind of you have some friction here, then you're ready to go. So you don't have to wait much. There are several. This is very delicate, and there are different techniques to use this. I'm not a master of this, but this is going to should be easy because it is the whole piece. So, okay. Now, this is what we have. I don't mind if it breaks because this is the demo. And then you spread, you see that it is glued in the center but not on the other side, so what we have to do is glue it. Okay? If you have excess pieces, you can reuse them for the parts that you may not have. What I have usually is, I have one of these things, and you can reuse all these things for other pieces, for other parts.
Since you're not doing since you're doing smaller areas, those little pieces work.
Yeah. Actually, for example, for this other demo that I'm going to try to do here, this is the first time that I do these kind of things. I don't know how it's going to work out. I only need small pieces, so this will work fine. Okay. So it doesn't matter that you see that it's a bit irregular. It really doesn't matter. The important thing is that the leaf is covering the area that you want to cover. That's the only important thing, okay? I'm going to leave it to set up for a second. And then there is only one step, well, two steps in general. So you can remove, it's basically one that is removing the excess with this cloth, okay? And removing means removing the excess on the edges, okay? And it works out really well, as you can see. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
So, as you can see, it's really flush with the piece, So with this two-step process, it works really well. And as I said before, I really don't like this finish. So what I do is, I start removing, okay, as you can see, until I get the amount of, this is optional, I mean, it depends on your design. And now I start removing until I get the amount I'm happy with, okay? I just remove a little bit so that you see. So it's not really very complicated. This you will not see in any
If
videos.
you use light sandpaper on there, it's going to remove more too. I mean,
I haven't tried, but if I had to try this, I will have to say something like really
500 or something like that, or more.
Yeah,
You put 500 on that, it's gone.
yeah.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, it'll be disappeared.
So you can remove quite a lot. You can remove parts, for example. You can follow the grain, the lines, or whatever. It's
On that example piece, it really, depending on what direction you're looking at, it fell into the grain in different, like it went around the edge of the grain this way, so when you tilted it one way, you saw it, and then when you tilted the other way, a different reflection.
Yeah. I think this. I think if I mean, I would not gild completely a wooden bowl. For that, I would buy a plastic bowl to the Chinese shop, But I think we can add in some cases, okay. And this is. I can gild this if you want, but it's gonna be the same. I can try to use the. So, I don't think that it. I mean, you've seen everything that how far as I have gone with this. So I try to challenge myself a little bit, and I try to do my own stencil here. So I've been using masking tape, and I have done like a drawing here. I'm not very good at this kind of thing, so it's going to be total experiment. I don't guarantee the final result, but yeah. I don't like to. Sorry? Sure. I'm another person that I'm comfortable. Let's say staying in my comfort zone. So. Okay.
You don't paint anything over the top of it after you did that?
Yeah, I mean, the next step would be to cover it with tang oil or whatever. You have the samples here of other different finish. You have the top, the ones that comes with the kit, and others. This is the top coat. This is this one, and it looks good to me. But I don't want to have. As I don't like to give everything, so this is the mahogany nut, and that's okay. But I don't want to gild a whole bowl or something like this. So I don't think this is going to be my first option for a bowl or something like this.
Trying to see what it is. What it smells like.
It's very potent.
No, it's not real. It's not. It's not lacquer.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's maybe it's shellac. I don't know for sure.
So I'm going to glue this, let's say, design here. Here again, the challenge is to use very, very little amount, which is impossible probably in the beginning. So I have to cover everything with glue and then remove the glue as I can.
So you got some holes, you got like a stencil. In there, right?
Yeah. I've made my own stencil with.
Very small pattern, okay.
I have made my own stencil here with masking tape. Yeah. I have used a design that I saw that I liked, and yeah, we'll see. I have not done this before, so I'm not very good at drawing, so. This piece has gone through many, let's say, things that I thought it was the right one to keep, ruining if I had to ruin it. Okay? So again, trying to have not too much here, cover everything, and then glue. And then add so it's going to be a bit more challenging here to know what is stuck here, because I don't have let's say a white surface as the other case. So it's going to be a kind of, I will have to wait for a few minutes and see how it goes.
Okay, on the edge, the natural edge, that little disc you made, how thick is it? That's just one layer on there? Oh, the one
Here?
for white?
You mean this one?
Just one layer there?
Yeah, there is one layer here,
Okay.
and it has the top coat. It has the top coat.
Is there, you ever gilded over some kind of filling of some sort? Like, I guess if you had a crack and you filled with whatever, epoxy or whatever, then you gild over that too, or not?
Yeah, this is something that I want to try. For example, if you see this piece, I think it could be interesting to gild what is the hole, the inside of the hole.
You mean the edge of the hole?
No, push
No,
it
I
in.
mean the
Push
hole,
it in.
the walls of the inner walls of the hole.
Yeah, the inner edge.
So you change.
Right, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so because I'm not very much. This is the first time that I'm gonna sell something in the Rumble, because it's more out of curiosity whether some people might like what I do. But I think this might have some commercial interest because people like these kind of things. So I think this can make these things more appealing to people that in normal conditions would say, "Oh, this is as a whole, this is useless."
On the piece you repair there, you have to repair the pieces that's in front of you.
Yeah.
When you glue the bottom on, does that glue that you glued the wood on the wood,
Yeah.
okay, and then you use the gilding glue on top of the wood glue? I mean, like it didn't react together or anything like that?
No, I mean, I've been, as I said before, I have been using a spray lacquer, I have been using tank oil. I will not use, for example, Danish oil because it penetrates.
Okay.
So I don't think that it seals well. So I haven't tried because I don't think that there should be.
Yeah, I mean, but does that glue react with other glues?
I have had no bad experiences
Okay,
on that
yeah, yeah.
point. So that's what I tried to. Before I came here, I wanted to try different finishes, most popular lacquer, or I didn't try all of them. But I was thinking, is there the possibility of a bad reaction? But I don't see much. You know, so
I mean, it's
seems to
metal,
be okay.
so it shouldn't hurt it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's what?
It's metal.
Yeah,
So-
No,
yeah.
I'm saying, but
Oh, I see what you're saying about, well, I would think
is it any more than Elmer's glue? I mean,
when he
what-
repaired the piece and glued a new piece on there, he returned it, right? So he's, it wouldn't have, I wouldn't think it would have any effect at all.
So he's cleaned off.
Yeah, he's cleaned off any excess glue, and then, he's gone back with the glue, the proper glue for this. And then as far as a top coat, finish it like you would normally finish.
Yeah. That's what. That's what.
If you want to finish your whole piece with the same finish, not put that particular top coat just on the gilding, because then you'd have two separate finishes and it'd probably look pretty bad. So I would think you would, go back and probably spray it with lacquer or poly or whatever.
So it's not easy for me to see whether it's tacky or not, so I'm gonna kind of do a test here and see. It seems that it glues well, it stays well, we will see. I'm just cutting by hand little pieces.
do you normally use the imitation gold leaf?
This is my first kit, so I wanted to stay on the, let's say, kind of. But if it really works well, I mean, because if you're trying to experiment or something, you don't want to ruin, let's say, the good stuff, I like to go from cheap to.
We're only using dollar bills instead of $100 bills.
Yeah, exactly. What's the kit comes with all that leaf?
Yeah.
And is it a local company in here in the States you get that from?
Yeah, there are a lot of companies that offer this, but the reason why I chose this is because it's not easy to. I mean, they have so many varieties that is sometimes difficult. I said before, they have edible gold and stuff like this. So what I found is that it was easier for me to understand what these guys were offering the kit or whatever. So I chose this for the reason. And actually, they made a mistake. They sent me 2 copper booklets.
Oh, okay.
And I had the order and paid for a gold one. And I contacted this guy, said, "Hey guys, you send me the only no gold." And they just let me send a picture of the 2 copper booklets, and they sent me. I mean, they didn't make me pay anything, the shipping cost or anything, So this is my experience with them. I have only purchased one, so I'm not really wanting to recommend it. But but my experience is not bad with these guys. But there are many companies doing this.
Did you get the name, Dave, of
I got
of the company?
Yeah,
Yeah, LA
it's
Goldleaf
here.
Wholesale.
It's here.
Okay.
USA.com.
From China.
That's in Japan.
Yeah.
Now we have to press. I don't think that in this case the brush is helping me much. So I'm gonna push this. I see that a little gap here. I'm sure I will be able to fix it. But try. Okay.
You just wait like a minute or so after it dries before you start wiping it down?
Do you mean wiping it down?
Like put the glue on there, you wait for it to get tacky, you put the gold leaf on there. How long do you wait after that before you start rubbing it off?
After using the glue, you mean?
You let the glue get tacky and then you put the leaf on there, the gilding on there. How long does it need to sit before you can rub it?
Well, if we're talking about a clear piece like this one with no masking tape or anything like this, you don't have to wait for a long time. However, in this case, I would not wait for a long time in the sense that you might get some pieces stuck to the masking tape or whatever stuck. So, as this is the first time, I really don't have a response 100% sure for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for some minutes, 2 or 3 minutes more. I have pressed as much as you can see here, so that, but the drawing is very challenging because there are very thin lines. So it might happen that when I pull this off, it comes off more metal than I would like to, but yeah, this is the
Experiment in progress.
yeah. I mean, I could have done something safer, but
No, this is
this is. As I said before, I'm not a person who wants to.
sense of adventure.
Yeah. So, for example, in this case, I had to use this to hide the hole in the piece. So I had to use this part here and this part here, but you see this, but you don't know that there was a hole here before. Okay.
Right.
So, from garbage to something that you can still
From the
use.
firewood to the sales table.
Yeah. Let me start
Okay, drum roll.
putting this off and see.
The longer you wait, let it set up, it won't take it off.
Is removing a bit more gold than I would like to, so I'm gonna stay gonna try to be more careful.
Wait a little longer.
You know what might have worked better is to glue, let it get tacky, pull the tape off, and then put the gold in. So it's just on the glue, there's no tape anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might work out.
Yeah, we have to try. Yeah. We have,
You know, you put your stencil, yeah, and then put your glue in the hole, and then once it's tacked off, pull the tape, pull the stencil, the tape,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, it might work better. You know.
I think that would work
if
better.
If it doesn't work well, that would be a nice thing. to
That'll
try.
be the
Nice
next
thing to try.
step. All right, Walter?
I'm hooked up.
Huh?
I got it.
Got it?
Too many nuts and bolts on this.
Oh.
It's not coming off easy, or? Yeah.
That's a detailed stencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I wanted to challenge myself a little bit for the demo.
Okay, now it's this.
Okay.
Cool.
So I have removed a little more of metal that I would like to probably do this at home with a bit more patience, with no pressure of time. I hope you can understand what I try to do. I don't know how you call to this little plant, but it's the one that try to
Those
grow.
are birds, right?
I don't know how to call it in English. It's the one that you blow and
Oh, a dandelion.
yeah.
Oh,
Dandelion.
okay.
Blowing a dandelion.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry. You still need to put on the finish, and it will look better and brighter. Okay. I have, as I said before, a bit more of gold that I would like has been removed, but I think you get the idea, okay?
How much was that kit right there?
I don't remember exactly. Let me see what it is here. It was something like $40 or something like this. I'm not that sure.
That's
Oh,
a lot
that's
of
not
gilding.
bad.
That's a lot.
Yo, it goes a long way. Yeah, it goes a long way. Yeah. I mean, as I said before, we're not gilding all the frame or stuff like this. We don't do. I mean, we shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. We do something much more.
Just little accents on pieces.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, little
the idea.
accents or the, maybe, the inside. I think Joe Royden did a couple of bowls where he actually did the inside of the bowl.
Inside of a box, I think AJ did a couple of inside of a box.
Did he with gilding?
The gilding?
I don't think.
Somebody did it with the gold inside.
And I saw somebody at AAW that did it and then treated it with different chemicals.
Right. Oh, yeah. David Marks does that with chemicals on metal, and it brings out all these colors. I don't know if you've ever seen him.
What's his
David
name?
Marks.
I'm not sure.
I'll send you something on the email.
Okay. Does he come here? To the
No,
village, or-
no, he's forget where the hell he's from. Never mind.
Okay. So I think this is all I have for you, and
Okay.
this is for me is work and learning in progress. So
So now you guys got something new to try.
yeah.
Thank you.
Can I borrow your notes?